Hey everyone, this is Matthias from Final, and today we're going to give you a sneak peek of our next generation POS, which we call Final. It's the world's first point of sale builder, and it really gives you an infinite adaptability around how you want to work as a store owner, as a reseller, or a developer. Let's get building. So let's get started by first clicking Create Custom Build. We're going to today be building a one-pager POS checkout. So let's start by calling it that. The one-pager POS. And today we are going to be building for our desk unit, but you can really choose any resolution that you would want. So what you see here is our general starter builder page. And we have up here our elements pane, our pages pane, actions pane, and we'll get a lot deeper into all of these. And then we can basically move around the canvas and whatnot. And just like any other POS builder out there, you'll be able to zoom in and out and put it to fill and fit and whatnot. We have our different screens up here. So if we want to, we can, for example, load in and see the screen here. Now there's nothing there. As we haven't designed anything. We have our structure pane over here. I always like to keep that open just to see what I'm at. But let's jump right in. So we start by choosing a layout here. And what we want today is we're going to have an image up here. Then we want maybe some card and a home button or something up here, our grid. And then the product variation selector and viewer and whatnot. Together with some payment buttons. So let's start by adding in an image. We can choose our image. I've already uploaded a final logo. It looks fine, but I would like to just adjust it a little bit, maybe just give it 12% of the container width here. Again, you'll probably notice as I go along here that a lot of this is very similar to most other builders. What we have in here is we're going to pop in a grid. You start to see that it's already generating a lot of repeaters in here. And what that really is we're doing a query of whatever we want to load in here. So we could go in and say categories. I just want to show my clothing or accessories or whatever. I've already loaded in a few products into our store. This could come directly from WooCommerce. I've just gone standalone and uploaded some of our swag store products. So when I click apply query here, now we're going to show all products. But given that there's nothing in the main div, we can't really show anything yet. So let's start by adding in an image. Instead of putting, you can see here, if we put an image, it's going to repeat itself. We've just selected a fixed image, but instead of that, let's go in and click dynamic, use our dynamic selector, and then you'll see on the product here that we have the product image. And given that all of the products are already loaded in, we have our query here where we can scroll back and forth between the different ones. We're just going to style that a little bit. I would like to set maybe a height of something down this line here. I think that looks pretty good. I'd like it in cover mode so we get it full. And then let's add a little bit. I like to add a little bit of radius just to cut off the hard corners. Again, this is, of course, something that you can fully set by yourself. Then below here, I'm going to add a container. And I'm going to just give it 100% width. And then I'm going to put, let's just actually in some text so we can start to see what we're working on here. I would like to put 2 text strings in here. All container starts with a gap of 20, but I actually think 0 gap will do just fine. And then maybe add a little bit of margin to it there would look in general good. We're just going to see here, go in and see, okay, that's height 400. I'm actually just going to put fit to content height just to make sure that they take up the full space of the images and that it looks nice and clean. what we want here is right now you can see it's repeating itself again. So I'm going to choose this element. I'm going to go to dynamic and input some dynamic data. We want to input some, as this is product grid, we want to input some product data. So let's start by choosing product name. You can now see that that's coming and loading dynamically for all of the different products throughout. Let's clean that up a little bit and just make it pop a little bit more. I like to make it a little bolder in that. And then below here, I think it would be cool to maybe add a SKU. I don't know if I've actually given these products a SKU yet, but it'll load as you fill in the data here later on. And we're gonna just make it a little bit smaller here. I think that'll look pretty nice. And that means we are basically done with our grid here. We could obviously go in and select we want a lot more in terms of how many items do you want per row, spacing, everything like that. But this looks pretty good. So let's just add a quick home button. I'll explain a little bit more what that does as we get into it. But basically, this allows you to go to what we call our station home, which handles all of your user switching, cache management, end of session reporting, all of these kind of different things. Setup of printers or any related hardware settings. So it's always nice to kind of keep a home button in. We're going to style it a little bit today just in the original Oliver colors. And for that, I'm just going to start by adding in a couple of global colors here. I'm going to call this background blue. That's good. And then I'm going to just another color here. And that is our final blue. Sorry. Let me just make sure I get it right. And we should be good there. Cool. Then we'll go up here and just let's get back to the structure pane so we can see what we're building out here. And we are just going to go in and load that there. As I mentioned to begin with, this is an alpha product, so sometimes we'll see issues there, but we'll make sure to get that cleaned up. I think it's because it doesn't have the tag, but yeah, there we go. So that's solved, but we're going to make sure to clean that up nicely as we get closer to beta stage here. Okay, so let's add one nice little quick element here. I like to always add a slide out card just so we know what is in the card and whatnot. I like to basically take show quantity in card and show the amount the card is there. We're going to say overlay from the right, and just to view it, we can, of course, style it a lot more, but I think out of the box, it looks pretty clean. So we have it there, and that means we're basically done with the top section. Cool. Lastly, we are going to just style our product selector here. And I think what would look nice and clean is if we added an image here, and we said we're going to set dynamic image. Again, this is understanding what image is loaded at any time. We already, as you can see here over in our product data, we have selected body spray, so this product. So that's what we're going to see. Yeah, let's get to styling that. In the same way as we did before, we would like to round the hard edges off here. And then let's also add maybe, I think it would be nice to add a container under this here. We're going to put that again at 100. And then we're going to make sure the content direction, actually, let's add a container more within here, also 100. You'll see while I do that in a minute here. But basically, I would like to add a product within here. Whatever I put in here, I'm going to have flow towards the right. and whatever comes below it is going to flow towards the left. So let's add maybe 2 text elements here. What I would like to load is product name. So that looks pretty clean. Yeah, that looks pretty good right there. And then what we're gonna do is we're also gonna add in the product price, just so we get a good idea on that. Right now it shows like that, but we have added the option to add advanced text data, and we'll build out on this a little bit more, so we automatically can load in your currency. But for now, you can at any place add text before and after. Maybe actually what would look nice is just we bracket that in here. And you can obviously control in the settings if it should have decimals and whatnot. Right now we like to just keep it clean here. And then I think what would be really nice is a quantity selector at the end here. Now we have it like this here, and I think we can clean this a little bit further up. And we'll do that by adding yet another container, dragging these 2 in here, making sure that they also flow right. We'll go here and just make sure that this comes first. We'll left align this here. We'll remove the standard gap so it looks a little bit closer to each other there. And then what we'll do is we'll put the main container as a part, which will basically push them out as far as we possibly can. I think that looks pretty good right there. Then let's put in our variation selector below here. I'm going to go to product elements and just drag in our variation. That looks in general pretty good. But I am just going to set up a little bit. Maybe let's set it something like this, so it doesn't take full width. And we're just going to go and say let me just make sure we have this here. I think we should just left align the whole color here, so it looks, we get a nice straight edge here. Cool. That looks good. What I think would look really nice if we went in and we just changed the background here, so we get it a little more clean cut, and know that it's a section. I think we'll just go with this background here. Let's just put 8 borders around here, all around, and then let's add a button at the end here. It's going to come up with the action manager. Action manager is basically a way of creating actions based on clicks or dynamic actions based on triggers that you set. We're just going to make a quick one here called add to cart. And again, I could set this to trigger automatically based on certain values, users that are logged in, and all kind of other stuff. But for today, I'm just going to go in and choose a function, add products to cart, save the action, and now that's linked up and working. Lastly, I think it would be really nice to just make this 100% of the width. And that looks pretty good right there. But I think we can do one better. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag this in here. Then I'm going to make the container full width. And we're going to work a little bit as we go towards going live on creating better dynamic width here. We're going to put that one in there. We're going to put this container in there. And that means that now we can go ahead and just put a little bit of padding on either side, just to make sure it looks nice and clean. Yeah, that's starting to look pretty good. Let's add a couple of payment buttons so we can do a full checkout. We're gonna put that here below. You know what? I may have made a mistake here. So let me just put the background. We're just gonna wipe that here. That's pretty good. But where I wanted to add the background is over here. And that means we now have this here. What you see here is there is a gap put in, and that's what's making it look off like that. To clean this up, I think we're just going to put padding below it too, which means we get a little bit of that bluish color here. And then that should work. I think we are going to look pretty good right there. Lastly, then let's add let's make this here 50% of the width. And then we are gonna add another button. Oh, sorry, wrong button. Let's add one of our tap to pay elements. I think that would be really nice. The tap to pay, what that basically does is it takes your device with its built-in payments, so you can take your iPhone. Oh, sorry, you can take your iPhone or Android phone and basically use as a credit card terminal. I'm just gonna put the payment buttons in here to start cleaning it up a little bit, and say 100%, and then we want to flow it that way. We might want to put a little bit of margin towards that there, and then now it's just figuring out why this is let's just this so cool. Maybe that'll look better. And then I would like to put this one there. I think this container here, we should have added spacing towards that there too. Okay. So that basically shows the how you're able to build basically whatever you want within Final. I would like the gap to be a little bit bigger there, and at the same time we can probably clean this up a little bit in general, and then we're gonna just add a little bit of spacing. If we did 8, I think that'll look pretty good. And now lastly, we just wanna add the same radius here, so we have a nice clean looking solution. Okay, that looks pretty good. I think we're more or less there. We've saved the build. Let's just check here. We could basically set move to a new checkout page and all kind of certain things. If we want tips when we hit the cash button, we could have that, of course, on the others too. We can set cash rounding, show a change calculator if we want, or add certain fees in percentage or fixed amounts. And say every time I click this button, I want to add $5 service charge if you wanted to create an invoice button or something like that. But for now, let's just keep it looking pretty clean. And yeah, we're happy with that. So let's publish our build. Basically what you see here is we're launching our first versions. We can now choose what stations we want to push it to. And we can put a little bit of a changelog here, our first build, and hit publish. What we do now is we're basically pushing that out to any connected devices so they're able to see it. Maybe one last thing that we just want to see is how does this look in reality on the desk device? So we have what we call device skin here, and we're basically able to load in the device you're building on so you can see how will this work and feel in reality. We're going to work a lot on improving how you're able to see and work with it. And some of the presets could be a little bit cleaner. But yeah, again, we're just in alpha and excited to see what you guys can build. Okay, thanks. Have a great day.